Ladies and gentlemen, here for the BlackOut Gaming Season 10, Week 2 of the Bureau versus TC Ambition. It's going to be Lakeside in process with Arjax on camera and Maxi to my side. Maxi, how you doing tonight? These teams should be readying up here pretty shortly.
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I am doing wonderful myself, as interested to see how these two teams are going to be doing. As I understand, the Bureau is a team that got moved up from High last season into Prem. Is that correct?
Yeah, they ended up winning the whole season, whereas TC Ambition came second in the end, losing the final, and then they ended up winning the relegation final against Stacked, obviously leader of Beep, who's casting the other game, and they went on to Prem, and then Stacked kind of folded. Not because of that, but yeah, so both teams now, their first season in Prem, as we look to be going live.
Yeah, so we'll see. An interesting matchup is going to be starting off here on Lakeside. Going to be a pretty back-and-forth matchup, hopefully. But we'll see how they do. Lakeside, if I'm correct, Maxi, has not been a map that's been traditionally played in ETF2L. Because we do get the rollouts. Sigafoo's going to be the first one. As it actually looks like when they have them completely rolling out to Lakeside, the Bureau that is going to push out from the pool right onto the point and taking Morty down. They're actually going to bully their way out here. Kind of interesting strategy for a rollout as Justice goes down and takes down the sniper flow in the backfield. And there you go. Pretty good start here by the Bureau.
Yeah, Bureau have always known to be rolling their combo out from the pool, whereas most teams just going to go for main and put their flank in there. But yeah, they've only lost what, 4 players right now, and look to be taking the point until it looks like TC are actually going to be maybe on the upper hand with the teams have overcharged already.
Yeah, so we'll see how they want to find this. I felt like the Bureau actually had a much better angle, but they kind of gave it up when they decided to go behind the point, though. Joe does pick a couple frags here. Cooley's going to get the Uber popped off onto him. He's going to be pushing across the point as Kronos gets the Uber counter popped onto him, but nobody's really going to get any frags from either of these pushes. The point is still yet to be captured from the midpoint as a scout goes down there. Justice doing a decent amount of damage is actually the combo here. It's going to get, from TC Ambition, is going to get taken out as they both get Girardi, Medic, Mr. Palmsky. Going to try, but can Justice find him? No, it's not Best. Actually, it's the one who finds a headshot onto him, taking the point, as well as the Bureau. Really nice push there after the Uber.
Yeah, they actually Ubered first. Normally you end up seeing it go the other way, but the team with the most Uber will normally end up winning, but no, they seem to push everyone back, and yeah, it looks like Palmsky and a lot of TC Ambition got kind of stuck behind that point instead of getting out.
So we'll see how TC Ambition can push into this. They're trying to bully their way into pool where the Bureau is currently holding right now. As Slow does take down the Pyro, so that's going to stop any ability to have some pushback here. But the combo's still holding strong as Joe, the engineer, trying to peek in there. So we'll see what's going to happen as just currently holding strong. They do have 100% Uber out, 40% advantage, but Mr. Pumpkin is so far out here. If they do pop it, which it looks like they want to, they're so aggressive. But I'm not really sure what they're going to try to find with this right now. As Mr. Pumpkin has to be careful at 80%.
Yeah, the usually do come out. So it should be that Sivok should get picked here. But yeah, very aggressive hold. Normally you see teams kind of hold behind the point and they're sort of even on the point, but not on the other side. It just puts the Bureau at such a disadvantage. And actually Kronos gets stoned by Flow. So Bombsy's got 100% advantage, and I would expect Ambition to push quite quickly before maybe Palmsky gets picked. Unless you've got Bez sitting somewhere. We've seen quite a few headshots of him already onto Palmsky.
So we'll see what they can do. Is they actually drop their demo just before this Uber push comes out. Sivhawk is going to be trying to push forward, trying to put some damage, but Yahoo doing a great job reflecting here as Simba hiding behind Obelisk, still alive. He was so incredibly low, but able to keep alive. And yet this 100% Uber push has not netted them the point. Now Sivhawk is going to be pushing forward, but he's actually alone. Nobody from his team is supporting him right now. The scout's going to come in here, but it doesn't matter. As he gets some nice frags. Flow actually gets a nice stab as well, or I'm sorry, a headshot. As Kronos is going to have to run away here, and finally they push onto the point, get some reinforcements. And it's going to work out in their favor, but currently down about 2 minutes here on the clock, and that is always a hard hold to have when you're down that far.
Yeah, I mean the Conch is pushed out as well from Betzel. So they should, it depends how forward they decide to hold. If we see the same kind of Bureau style, very aggressive forward holding, then yeah, they might get the 2 minutes again, but Cooley just literally walked over the point and just killed Palmsky.
Well, they did lose Kronos in that Kong push before, which I think just kind of prompted, you know, hey, we lost our mech, might as well just hold that W key when it happens. But yeah, pretty embarrassing when a demo man just comes up, walks in and point just casually, you know, 2 pipes your medic and takes him down. So that's going to give Kronos a little bit of an uber advantage here as they're going to start to push onto the point. They do lose Milk Nando there, trying to get aggressive, but they should just be able to bully this out as the medic is still not at the front lines. Flo does get a kill onto Justice there. Currently on actually a 6k right now, but the Bureau is looking pretty strong to be able to retake this point for free.
Yeah, especially with this uber advantage, you kind of expect TC to sit slightly far back. But I mean, you can see that we've got no demo, or even I think Select Spy actually. I feel like in sense of two confusing names, I always get confused. But yeah, looks like Bureau now, under a minute left to hold this, and you'd expect Palmsky, who's only at 70%, he hasn't been building that fast. Need to kind of get some more cap time.
Yeah, I mean, they need to find something. Currently, the Bureau's holding inside of the pool area in a very strong position. Salik is actually right by the combo. We'll see if he can make a play. It's going to be a crits crate popped up. That's why he's building so much faster, but Cooley's going to go down from Salik, who just came out of the pool area. Simba's going to be holding really aggressively. He should be taken out by the Pyro, who just flanks him. Uber does get popped off here from TC Ambition, as they're going to be pushing across the point. Actually, the medic is going to be the first one forward. Finally joined up by Siphawk, who's going to be coming back to the point, recapturing this. Yahoo's going to be just suicide onto the point, but it's for something as he does take down the heavy. But here we go, the point does go back in favor of TC Ambition, but with only 7 seconds left and 2 minutes of having to defend this, this is looking pretty good for the Bureau right now.
Yeah, they've only got, what, 7 seconds, so just a quick enough cap should get out, unless you end up getting a kind of clutch cap and you've got all of TC sitting on the point anyway.
And so we'll see what they can do here as they're doing a good job of just trying to bully some damage across the point. Flo is currently down, so no sniper for the red team here defending the point. As actually they lose their demo as well, and Morty's down incredibly low. Crits do come out, but they're only in the form of pipes, which don't really... Actually, they do land onto something. They're taking down Morty and Sunrise, so there you go. 4 seconds ticking down. It's pretty much the Bureau's game to lose here, but they should be able to hold on to this fairly easily. The last stride is coming in as actually the Uber does get popped off in the Setzel, but that doesn't capture the point there, and they end up losing it the first round. The Bureau take it 1-0.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, maybe it was that strong forward hold they had that got quite a few picks, and I haven't seen much of these teams. Neither did that well in their kind of midweek scrims, so it's not like one team has a huge advantage over the other. I'd say both going into it probably not that full of confidence. Maybe Bureau a bit more with their previous wins over TC, but yeah, it's probably going the way of TC so far.
I mean, TC, it just seems like they haven't been aggressive enough. I mean, when you're both don't control Uber, like, why not get a little bit more aggressive, try to defend the point, especially when you have numbers that are fairly even, but I guess, maybe it's just something that we're not quite seeing here. Is actually the Scout's going to try to run across the point, gets punished for his troubles, so Sinrise is going to try to do just the same, as Kronos down incredibly low. He's going to actually have to back out through main, as he's going to eat one more rocket from Setsu, who's going to actually try to bomb in here, back into spawn. Is he going to be able to get the final rocket? Yes, he does connect into it. He goes down for it, but that is very worth it, though. Mr. Pomsky did go down in that exchange, actually, to McNando there from the Spy, so even though he at least traded with the medic, but the point is going to go in the favor of the Bureau. Bureau, nevertheless, man, it's going to be a hard word to say consistently throughout this cast. I'm going to try my best, but nice play there as they control the point, but again, just struggling, TC Ambition, to get any forward ground to get some cap time.
Yeah, I saw this first exchange, and there was only 2 combo players from the Bureau, and there was, I think, 4? Or at least 3 or 4 from Ambition. I thought usually it was walk forward with that player advantage. And they never came forward. They seemed almost hesitant to push forward. I'm not sure that's just how they play, but yeah, even now they're just getting kind of bullied away.
And oh, Mr. Pomsky goes down from Justice, coming from the pool side, as well as a Scout who is helping him out. Really great job here by the flank. I can just see Zappos and Justice are always pushing so aggressively forward through that pool side, and if you lose control of pool, like, it's such a hard map to play. If your flank just, like, cannot be contested. Like, generally speaking, like, the way I usually handle it, if my pool is consistently being lost, like, my flank just cannot hold on to, just, like, rotate your combo in there. Try to help clear them out. Just do something a little bit differently, because right now, TC Ambition is just getting absolutely trounced in this game, as they have not even had a chance, an ounce of cap time yet, as the time is ticking continually in the favor of the Bureau.
Yeah, you can see the Bureau is sitting quite happily in pool, but Ambition kind of fell back from this side and rotated all the way back round through main. I mean, okay, you've still got just under 2 minutes, but that's a lot of time to take to rotate round, especially when you've got a few players up and you've got heals. And even now, all the Bureau have done is they just walked a few players out onto the point. And even now, Ambition, you've got the whole of Bureau's combo sitting in that ballroom, just walk onto the point. They're being so hesitant to walk forward.
Did lose Sibhawk just a little bit before that, and McNando actually wants to make a play. He's going to get spotted out ×2 onto the point, so finally they should be able to capture this with a crit streak. Scout comes in with a spy, responds with a 2K on point, taking down the medic. Nice job there by Selleck, taking him down. That's going to respond coolly to have to back out here, but Sibhawk's actually going to try to chase him down. Is he going to be able to help it? Yes, with the help of Wonder there. Takes him out as the medic is just going to get back up here, but the point goes back in the favor right now, but still 2 minutes down. It's yet to see here of TC Ambition to control the point with an advantage as they are continually playing under the gun.
Yeah, it seems to be the exchange of cap times. It's the first team, let's say, Bureau will cap, then Ambition, and then Bureau then recapping at the end, but needs to kind of go the other way. They can get this first cap off, because immediately they're down kind of a minute or two before they get their recapture and get their kind of clock down.
And Kronos went down there from the headshots from Flow, so that's going to give the uber advantage here to the team controlling the point. That's TC Ambition, who gets another frag there from Morty, who's currently on a 4K, sitting on that point with a medic directly behind him, healing him up so heavily, and they just can't seem to figure out how to push onto this, as Kronos sitting at 58% actually on the quick fix right now, so a little bit of Medigun shenanigans as Selk trying to find a frag and actually does find it on a Kronos. So good job as Uber is going to get popped off here. A little bit of a needless Uber pop. I'm not sure if they just wanted to use it for the sake of using it. I guess they still will have a somewhat of an advantage unless if the medic still comes out with quick fix here. But really aggressive play coming out of TC Ambition. I think this is exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, you can see as soon as they start pushing the whole of the Bureau back up, this kind of balcony side, they start getting more cap time. We're down to almost equal as, what, 20 seconds between it. As long as they get this aggression forward and don't immediately kind of clunk under the pressure and the aggression of the Bureau repushing, you know, they should be able to keep it.
So we'll see if the Bureau can get that aggression that they need. Currently sitting at 75% on this quick fix. Now, if they held onto that Uber charge, they would be able to defend it here. I understand wanting to hold on to it or wanting to pop it to not lose it, I guess, or something. But here comes out the quick fix. It should come out to the demo, and yes, it is. It's going to come out just a little bit sooner than Super Charge. Actually, it's going to get counter popped, and the Uber Charge is always going to win that battle as you're going to be invulnerable. Down goes the medic. Simba's going to get caught out here unless the Pyro's actually going to help him out, taking down the medic. And the demo, though the spy comes in, at least gets one frag for the troubles, but only 3 alive here for TC Ambition. They do have a little bit of the point advantage, but the point should go back in the favor of the Bureau. But yeah, at least looking a little bit better right now for TC Ambition, finally putting up a little bit of fight in this game.
Well, we say put up some fight, and actually, yeah, they've got 30 seconds on the Bureau, but immediately it goes back to the Bureau kind of under control. They've got their combo back in that pole side, which has been working quite well. Give everyone some heals, but unless actually they might be getting pushed up right now. Setsu jumps in, trying to get something, but actually Pomsky goes down, McNando gets a big stab on him. So that goes potentially all of Ambition's kind of aggression. They lost Wonder as well in that. He's been quite playing an aggressive scout, and times are about equal now, so medic disadvantage. You're gonna have to go for some sort of play to even things up here.
And Selk does just that, taking down Kronos with a backstab, so spy for spy right now. But right now, we just need to see aggression on TC Ambition. They have the medic advantage. Justice is going to jump in here. He's going to actually try to get a medic. Does land one rocket, but not anything more. But they have the medic advantage, but they need to get across the point. Right now, the point is being dictated by the Bureau, who doesn't have a medic at all, but yet somehow they're more aggressive in keeping them off the point, doing a decent amount of damage. Zappos and the Demo Man are just going insane there, just dancing around, keeping themselves alive here, as they're going to get pushed onto the point. McNando gets caught out, so no spy here to make a play. ×2 onto the point, a symbol holding from the right-hand side. We have 95%, but Pomsky goes down again from Zappos, was that? I didn't quite see. And there you go. This point, though, is looking potentially in the favor of TC Ambition. But with any amount of aggression, they should be able to defend this, as everybody's so low. Morty goes down, just Sibhawk, who's down incredibly low as well. He just needs to eat a little bit of damage. Down he goes as well. The spy's going to try to get it, but there we go. The Bureau is somehow going to hold onto this point after losing their medic.
I think it was that reverse pick on Pomsky that just evened things up. Everyone took a lot of damage, and it was as long as you get Pomsky up, you're probably going to edge him out just with that heal advantage, but Zappos is more than capable of getting kind of any pick. And I think there's that reverse pick, and then you immediately saw that both Morty and Sibok were both really weak on the point, and it just took a few stiffies to go down.
I mean, I would have loved to see just some walk across point, literally walk across the point as soon as that happens, as Setsu actually opens up this round, taking down the medic. So no medic here for the Bureaus. Mr. Pomsky, Sam got 4% health. I'm sorry, he's dead. Actually, from a reflect kill, was that from the Pyro? Really nice job taking down the medic. And again, the Bureau is going to look like they're going to win this initial mid-fight, as I think this is the 3rd time in a row, as they're currently sitting up 2-0 on this round. But going back to that last round, I mean, when they had the medic advantage, I just was shocked when they just didn't push forward. Like, I think the aggression out of the Bureau really dictated the pace of the game in that situation, which ultimately worked against TC Ambition. Like, I don't know, I feel like TC Ambition is just a little bit too passive today, and when they got aggressive, so when they did well, is Morty takes down Kronos again.
I'm not sure, maybe it's miscommunication between who goes down, or you see a few times when a medic goes down and a player will call it, they're not everyone hears the call and has to be repeated a few times before a team will push across, and by that point it's far too late. But it might maybe be kind of pre-match shooter a little bit differently, or they thought, no, we'll play as we think is right, hold a bit far back. But no, we see every time that TC go a bit more aggressive, they capture the point and get these picks on people like Kronos, or even someone like Simba or Zathus.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like every time we see TC Ambition getting aggressive, like, they're doing well, but every time they play passive, the Bureau is just kind of beating them down. So we'll see if TC Ambition can find something, as they do control the point, about 20 seconds behind, but ticking in their favor currently. They do have a 100% Uber advantage right now, so we'll see how Kronos wants to push onto this point, as he's also on the Uber charge. You're going to have Cooley trying to push him from this left-hand side. His best takes down float. Setsu gets backstabbed there. As Uber's going to get popped off onto the Pyro, but nothing's really going to come of that. I'm not sure exactly what that was for, as they did lose Sibhawk as well. There's no Devilman to try to defend this point, and actually Mr. Pomsky does have Girardi on, as Morty's actually going to be caught out here. Is he going to go down? He's going to just barely get away with the Fist of Steel, as this reconnected with Mr. Pomsky, but 100% sitting in the favor of the Bureau, as they also control the point. And it'll be interesting to see how TC Ambition decide to push this.
Yeah, Bureau just took that point for free. I mean, maybe they should have got at least trying to get the force on Kronos. I understand you use your Uber on a Pyro, but maybe using the Uber Pyro, go for something, don't make that Uber worthless. Once again, I'm not sure that's miscommunication between the combo, what went down, or maybe we've lost our demo, we should immediately get back. But I wouldn't say get back and give away the point for free, because as soon as they get to the point, you've got quicker respawns. You might as well go in. And finally now they get forced out on Kronos, but they have to use that Uber from Pomsky to actually force Kronos.
Yeah, and a little bit of an overextension there by Sinrise. He's going to be taking down Kronos, actually trying to run away for his life, and Zathis is going to be the only one forward who's doing a good job. 1v1 against Morty, he just barely gets helped out, but best take down Mr. Pomsky. Down goes a medic. Mr. Kronos is actually going to be in a good spot here to be recharging, as the spy's on the point. And it looks like the Bureau's going to have a good chance to recapture this, as Salik, a little bit of a misplay there, gets easily taken out running into 4 players. And the Bureau's going to get this point back in their favor if they want to, and they're going to continue this lead that they have currently with time, and with the Uber advantage as well. They're looking really good to take a 3rd round straight.
Yeah, I just thought there Justice got a nice air shot. Actually on Setsu. Just as exchanging by that ruins area. And he's actually sitting on the point with like 1 health for quite a while. But like I said, you know, Pomsky looks like they're going to push on this right side. They haven't seen that much. It's a lot easier way of taking that ground. It kind of stops that whole full side being any kind of factor. But we're going to see the Uber come out, actually Cooley jumps in. And Pomsky's so weak. Is he going to go down? He's just duking all these pipes, and he does actually avoid it.
Wow.
It's a huge pickle to Kronos, actually.
I think if this round is won by TC Ambition, it was in part by Mr. Pomsky dodging all of those pipes. Not only dodging the pipes, but then dodging the roller sitting at his feet. I have no idea how that man just survived, but he is surviving at 100%, and giving them TC Ambition a fighting chance to at least be able to take a round in this, as they currently are about 45 seconds down from the enemy team. But seeing that 100% Uber, they're looking not too bad, as Selig wants to make a play on Cooley here, who did eat a headshot coming out of here. Kronos is actually going to run into Selig right there, gets a butter knife onto him. One more stab, Kronos down incredibly low. Is Selig going to get the stab? No, he won't. Not even the butter knife. See, at 15 HP, Kronos is going to be able to stay alive here, but the point is still in the favor of TC Ambition, who decided to pop their Uber. I don't really know why, if that was a force or not. Did you see that, as they did lose their medic as well, just as Uber came up?
I was more concerned about how Select couldn't get like a 20 damage shot away on Kronos. I'm not sure if he ran out of ammo, but like, just needed to hit him for one thing. So I'm probably going to go with that. It was Kronos' probably amazing dodging rather than Felix's lack of skill.
I mean, even the pop that came out of Mr. Pomsky there, they used their Uber, but I didn't really see what for. I mean, TC Ambition have used their Uber, I think, 3 times, and that's the 3rd time I'd say, so it's like in really questionable ways. So I'm just kind of surprised that it's kind of continued to go out there, but we'll see what they can do, as they currently do lead, but it's going to be matched here by the Bureau, coming in at 30 seconds each for both teams. 100% Uber sitting on the team of Chrono, so we'll see how they want to push this.
Yeah, I think Ambition's Ubers are all over the place. I think we've seen them mainly running Uber, actually now swapping to Quick Fix. Maybe let's just get some quicker pops out and just get some more cap time, even though obviously you still can't cap with the Quick Fix. But as you can see, the Uber come back out from Kronos and the rest of the Bureau, and it should be an easy clean-up. I mean, Palmsy is now drafted again. I'm not sure he keeps getting drafted. Bezos never seems to be that close, but as I say that, Bureau's clock finally counts down and they're going to take all 3 points from Lakeside.
Yeah, very clinical game. I mean, the only time it was even partially close was in that 2nd round, and that was honestly, I think, just a really big mistake out of TC Ambition. I think if they're going to be embarrassed if they go and watch that round again and look at how much advantage they had and how much they gave up, because they really should at least taken that round, if nothing else. But the rest of the rounds look just so much in the favor of the Bureau. It'll be interesting to see if there will be any turn of the tide when it comes to CP process, which will be the second half that we're going to play on when it comes to the map. But yeah, the Bureau looking incredibly strong right now to win both maps, would you say?
Yeah, I remember seeing Saloon, the bets on this are something, I think it's what, 78.8% in favour of the Bureau against 21.2%. Earlier in the week it was a lot different, but maybe some people realise that these teams played each other last season quite a few times, and even though we've seen a few roster changes here and there, I mean, Zaphos comes in, I think Zaphos, Justice, Simba as well, Besnell maining as well, they've all been swapped around, and Ambition making quite a few changes. I'd say Bureau is still the stronger team, and yeah, I think they should take Process quite happily. I mean, that was quite a kind of easy win, I would say, for them. They seem to have played just a more calm, collected game, and Ambition's Uber usage and positioning and kind of timed pushes just didn't ever kind of click, in a sense. I'm using what the logs look like. I'm expecting to see probably a lot of kills. Bears and Flo both got, I think, a lot of kills, so I'm going to call out Arjax, assuming he's going to get logs up. If not, then you're already put on the spot. Ah, see, he's already put them up. See, he was expecting me to call him out. So...
he's just on top of the ball. So what are you seeing in the logs there, Maxi?
So, top fraggy, I can see Bez. Bez got a lot of frags, but he didn't top damage. It ended up being Cooley to top damage. But I think, as a total... actually, the frags are quite distributed quite well. The top 2 are Bez and Justice on 27 frags and 23 respectively, followed by Morty, Flo and Wonder, both sitting between 20 and 21. Def Selic died quite a lot, 26 deaths there. Same for Setzel, but he was getting quite a lot of bombs in. Looking between medics, not much difference between them. Even I go towards heals, there's what, 84 heals a minute? No drops from either. Interesting to note that Palmsky, 90% of his charges were actually on Medigun, whereas Kronos actually ran Kritzkrieg quite a few times as well. So maybe that quicker Uber advantage and the uses of crits could have lent in their favour.
I didn't. The one round, the second round is the round they ran the Kritzkrieg, and it did work out for the one push because they got a couple of rollers off of it. One thing actually I think is kind of an interesting stat line here is looking between Cooley and Siphawk. Is that their damage numbers are very close to each other, only 600 off. Obviously, the kills are very different, but Demoman, that can be like really a lying stat because, you know, Demoman's job is to put out damage. If he gets kills, great, but his job is to put out damage, and usually it's his team to clean it up. But one interesting stat line is that Cooley has taken over 2,000 more damage than Sibhawk, who's got 1 more death than him. So it's almost like, but if you look at even the heal line, both of them have roughly the same amount of heals. So Sibhawk has taken more Cooley has taken more damage than Sibhawk, but has died just a little bit less, and it kind of tells the story that Cooley is getting more aggressive, but he's also getting aggressive with his team, so he's not dying even though he's taking more damage. I think that's kind of speaks to what we've seen in the Bureau game, of the Bureau being so much more aggressive, and usually a lot of aggression in Highlander is led by your demo man.
Yeah, we talked a few times as well, especially when Ambition were re-pushing, you'd see Sibot get picked just before they went in, or just as Uber's faded, which obviously would affect how you'd be able to push in when you would die. It would say, well, look, you're getting damage and then dying, whereas perhaps Cooley's kind of Uber usage was, well, I'll get kills and damage. I mean, if you compare frags, I'm looking at someone on the red team that got a lot of kills, maybe not a lot of damage. There's no one really that's getting loads of kills and no damage, which kind of defeats my whole look. I thought, well, maybe there's Sibot getting this damage, and there's just someone just cleaning up all these kills. So they're not getting a lot of damage, but obviously just a lot of cleanups in a sense. I can see someone like Wonder actually. Wonder, he got 20 frags, but only got 4.6k damage. Which if you compare that to someone like, even someone like Zaphos, he got 5k damage, so not a huge difference. He only got 10 frags. So Wonder's getting double the kills. He's taking a bit more damage, but it looks, if anything, there's Wonder just finishing off and just cleaning up damage. Maybe, I didn't exactly know who was killing who, but it could have been that perhaps Wonder was cleaning up these damages and these kills from Sibok.
Yeah, it's perfectly possible. I mean, if I see a Delman who has low frags, I'm never really judging the Delman for, it's like, as I said, it's just kind of the job of everybody else. But one interesting thing too is I'm just kind of looking at the stat line and like see where the difference is. One other the stat line that looks kind of interesting is, I'm going to speak about the engineer here because I love my engineer, is that Maddox has a few more frags, but like twice as many, actually almost 3 times as much assist. I mean, obviously when you're the winning team, it's going to make the engineer like look that much better, but having that like little mini support, like consistently putting out that damage, picking up that assist, just tends to work out pretty well. But other than that, I mean, just a lot of it just, I felt like just was really good positioning. I mean, obviously though, having a best duel sniper, as we're getting the countdown here, getting ready up for this next mid fight. And it'll be exciting to see if TC Ambition can find anything when it comes to process, as they are currently down 1-0, or at least they lost the first half, 3-0 on Lakeside, but we'll see if they can do any better on process here.
Yeah, Ambition last season, I think the Gully and Process were some of their stronger maps, because there was quite a lot of Sixers background in their team. I'm not sure how it changed this time. I know Wonder, obviously, from their new pickup, sees very into his Sixers, but you might think maybe their mid will be a little better. It looks like they're going to, both teams looking to go right side. Flo gets the first pick actually, and Justice actually gets a frag as well. Hoping for something big. Palmsky still full of health, lose Morty, and it looks like that top control is going to be a favourite of Bureau, and they're probably looking to take this mid.
Yeah, just look at this clinical push. I love this push out of Bureau. They just slowly overtook ground, but Sugg does get a stab there. At least taking down one, taking down the engineer, but not going to really find much else, as Chrono's sitting at 95%. The only one left alive was Sibhawk, and I don't know, he actually might have even been a respawn. I'm not quite sure, as the second point's going to continue to go down in the favor of Kabiro, but they overtook the point, and then they just slowly collapsed on TC Ambition, who was just kind of hiding in the corner. They went to their own side, but they never really pushed out from it. So a little bit of a disappointment, as they're going to have 100% Uber, and if the Bureau really wanted, they could push out right away. Setzel is going to try to get a play onto Kronos, but doesn't end up finding any damage thanks to the reflex of Yahoo.
Yeah, big part of Process mid is always taking that top control. I mean, I know Zaphos, I know him very well as a scout, and even Justice, and I know those two together very well. I just both of them just took that top, and I mean, Setzel went to try and block it, but he was tagged and it just didn't go the way he wanted. We're actually going to see the Uber come out from Kronos and just fade. Zaphos is rid of that panic room. You need to get some cap time on it. Yahoo playing the point. Multi almost fragged. You still got that level 3 up though, and it is still wrangled until Miniano actually comes in and essentially does get destroyed. Could have Vero collapse all over that point, and Vero taking the first round.
Beautiful. That was just, I love that push out of there. The scout going up top, they used the Uber straight away to get into the upper area, took control, slowly took over the point. They didn't overextend too much. I mean, the soldier did a little bit, but just really, really nice push there out of the Bureau. Going into that last point, process last, especially against the level 3, can be difficult, though you do have that Uber advantage, and they used it incredibly effectively. As we come into this next mid-fight, TC Ambition, again, not looking too great today, but we'll see if they can find anything else here, as the mid-fight is going to begin out here. Palmsky not taking too much damage like he did earlier on, so that might help them out. Setsu is going to try to jump up, gets reflected by Yahoo. Great job there. Selig, though, at least he's going to get a stab on the best. The sniper duel is going to go in the advantage of TC Hydro. I'm sorry, TC Ambition, not Hydro, as we'll see if Flo can find any kills.
TC Hydra, I'm thinking that's a map we haven't
old
seen.
school.
That's an old school map. But the main thing on this mid is, look, you've got no one sitting up top whatsoever. Justice is close, Zappos is close. But I don't even think he needs to go up top. She actually pushed that choke. But actually, Pomsky's going to Uber. Not going to get anything from him. I think he was forced trying to get out rather than pop it.
He's just scared. Yeah, Zappos came in there, showed his head, and they're like, oh crap, it's Zappos, gotta run. As Setsul just suicides on the point. I don't think he realized that he's running the 5 players and a mini sentry again.
Yeah, I think they didn't even need top control. It was just that. Oh, actually, Kronos drops in PC. Oh, big +2. Blows up peeking that very kind of bottom PC area. It gets a huge kill on him. That Zappos then returns the favor. So Pomsky back in Uber control and Uber advantage at now 60-odd%. So if he doesn't go down, I mean, Justice and McNamara get picked. You've only got Simba left on the point now. Wonder chasing up Matic through their PC. Zappos comes behind and gets a pick on Pomsky. Oh, big play from him.
Do you know how long Zappos was behind the enemy team? I mean, it was ridiculous. He went all the way. Like, they knew he was behind them that entire time, but he was still able to get the frag on the medic. Like, that is a great play by Zappos, but also some poor communication coming out of there to not, know that the scout is going to be coming behind you in IT. Simba goes down from a nice headshot from Flo, but a big misplay coming out of TC Ambition there, not realizing and protecting their medic, who ultimately went down from a great play from Zappos. 61% they control in their favor, as it looks like the combo is holding currently in sewer. They might just wait for their Uber to fully come up before they push onto this next point. McNando is holding on the second point, giving some nice, actually gets a stab on a Flow there. There's no sniper for this point, and actually it's a pretty big deal because the long sight lines on Process can really work in your favor, and so they're probably going to try to work in best from this far angle. As where do they want to push this Uber from? Looks like it's going to be the lower as they start to go in right now, and it looks like TC Ambition is wisely going to just back up.
Yeah, Kronos actually got forced. Setsul tried to use the Market Gardener for a kind of gimmicky frag, but he ended up missing just firing a rocket, so I guess Kronos popped just for the safety of it. That was to take second quite cleanly, and Pomsky's sitting at pretty much 100%, so they could push out if they wanted to, but I mean, you've got 4 players down, which would be a terrible reason to push. But actually, McNamara gets the pick on Morty. Pomsky does get forced. It's only Setsul to actually re-push back and try to defend this point. Joe comes in as well, so gets the pick onto Justice. But, I mean, Kronos now, sitting at 80%, he does come in from that kind of number 1. Now sitting up with the panic room, so he's got all that kind of area to spam down on this combo. And no one seems to have spawned him yet. Kronos actually uses his Uber, pops onto Cooley, still got that level 1 up. If you destroy that, you've just got to walk on this cap point.
They do lose their medic actually from the help of Flo there, as the Devilman goes down as well. Simba should go down here fairly easily. And what looked to be, as you said, if they just took down that level 1, I think they would have had a chance to just continually take that point. But nice defense finally coming here out of TC Ambition, which I think ultimately came from the Bureau just not having a lot of support. They pushed in that last point, and I'm not sure if it was Deaths or why the flank classes didn't appear to be in there, but it seemed like it's basically the combo and no one else. I think if they just had a couple more players supporting them, they probably would have been able to push onto that final point.
Yeah, hopefully we can. I'm not really sure where Bureau are trying to hold. They're Uber disadvantage, but they're actually still holding quite forward on second. I suppose when you put 9 people up, I mean, you've got a few flip tag players. Actually, Justice goes down. But, you got player player advantage is fine there. Actually got disadvantage. But I'd like to think that maybe they would start looking to pull back. You've got that whole Uber advantage of TC Ambition. Watching that rollout, I'm trying to see where Bez is, just in case he's got that sightline locked down, because he's got a few times. But he's actually sitting quite far forward on point, so maybe looking for that pick, but I don't think Pomsky wanted to peek until they knew they were safe from that sniper.
And Pomsky ends up getting forced there with the help of the Scout and the Pyro coming around the other side, so they end up popping this Uber, but it's not really going to be for anything because they could have just, they already bullied their way onto the point. They just needed to walk up onto it, but a good job again by the Bureau as the counter Uber's going to get popped off here onto Simba. Actually, Soldier goes down very easily. They're going to push back onto the point. Dumbman jumping across as the TC Ambition's going to be back down, but Kronos goes down as well as Simba. Nice 2K there by Selic, who's having a great game today, at least trying to keep his team inside of this, as the point still not going down in the favor of the Bureau. TC Ambition showing they're not pushovers as they're pushing back out onto this point, controlling it. They might even be able to go out to mid if they play this correctly.
Yeah, Selic getting a lot more picks on this map, especially. Maybe he's more happy on 5 CP. But I'm just looking out, they had 5 players down from Bureau, but they're not seriously pushing that far forward. They had all those players down. This is when they need to be aggressive, and they're only just getting into PC now. by this point, the Bureau, they've got a lot of players healed, and might even end up contesting this middle point.
Though Mr. Pomsky is holding on to 100%, he's had a trouble of popping the Uber at the right time today, so we'll see if he can get an Uber. But oh my gosh, Best takes down the Devilman. Siphawk not alive here, and that's going to stifle this next Uber push, as they do have about a 50% advantage, but it's going to dwindle here quickly, as still 6 seconds before the Devilman is even respawned back up. So if they're going to wait to push in here, Kronos, I mean, he's so close to the point. I mean, I think they could have just gone through and just try to do something, and they actually probably would have found success even without the Devilman. But now, by the time they push in, it's going to be close to even Ubers, as they're waiting so incredibly long to go in.
Yeah, they did lose their demo just there, Kool-Aid. So, I would expect... It's a situation they're sitting in. They had player advantage, they didn't have Uber advantage. And it's, well, do you sack your advantaged players to get this Uber force? But I don't think that the Bureau needs to be panicking. They've got 21 minutes in their round up, so I don't think they need to be going for these big, random, crazy plays just yet.
So we'll see what they want to do here, as we're at one of our first stalemates of the map, about who wants to kind of go first here. It looks like we're going to have Konks popped off. Setsu's going to hold on to his, as well as the Soldier. I'm trying to figure out where he is. If it was just one I heard, or I thought I heard two, but maybe I'm crazy, as Zappos does go down. Yahoo's actually pretty low here. He goes down as well, as Konk's going to get popped off. They're going to try to drive pushes as long as they can. Uber ultimately does get finally popped off. They're going to try to push up this right-hand side, as Kronos is going to respond in kind with Justice, as well as Cooley being reconnected here. Justice putting down a decent amount of damage, taking Morty down incredibly low, as Pomsky is actually just behind the Spy. McNando does get a stab there, but Pomsky able to stay alive. Point still currently in the favor of the Bureau, but the TC Ambition slowly pushing across the point, though. Cooley, nice pipes, takes down one right there. Sibhawk's no demo man here ultimately for this push, and that's going to just prompt him to back up. And a point well defended here by the Bureau, and maybe a little bit lethargic push there out of TC Ambition.
The Ambition was sat on that lawn area, and it's once again, they have player advantage. Kronos and actually a nice shot and sell it. That's another 25% for him. It actually gives him the advantage. Then they need to take ground. You can't just get frags and then not walk forward. All Kronos did was fall back, and then he had all his respawners, and he just took the ground, that kind of dead man zone.
I don't know, they just can't seem to find what they need to do. I mean, what would you... So right now we're going to see some aggression here. Actually, out of Cooley, he's going to be popping this Uber. He's going to go straight for Mr. Pomsky. They know they have the advantage, and they need to kill the medic, and they need to kill him right now. Pomsky go down to about 100 HP, but Zappos not able to get forward enough, but they are doing a good job of getting across this point. Down goes the heavy Pyro and Soldier on the enemy team, so it's looking pretty good as they also control the upper area. Pomsky's going to return in kind, though. Zibhawk's going to get that Uber popped off onto him, but can he find the frags that he needs to? Simba's caught out here, but he's still staying alive. Actually takes down the Engineer. Is he going to take down the Demo as well? Just barely, almost keeps him alive. Pomsky now out of position. The Demo Man is actually going to be able to, he's going to go down, but Zibhawk is still alive. Point's going to go in the favor of the Bureau. And just a sloppy defense there out of TC Ambition. Wonder, he's going to come from behind right now. He's going to get Cooley with a nice two-shot, but he's not going to get Kronos as he wanted. Zibhawk goes down as well, staying alive maybe too long, now on a 17-second respawn. And the second point should go in the favor of the Bureau as well, as only 4 are alive.
It's tough to say what Ambition aren't doing right. They seem to be swapping, being aggressive and under-aggressive, and they haven't found the right now. I mean, I see Wonder, he's coming in from behind, he's playing it. Selec, I'm actually watching Selec. Almost got the stab of Kronos. Was about a foot away from getting a big pick, but not this time. So it will allow Bureau actually to push into last. You know, walking all your players on the point, Kronos should have full Uber advantage. But depending on how long they leave it, Fancy could get Uber up. He's at 50% now, but not actually building either. You'd expect maybe to try and build, especially if you know you're at Uber disadvantage on last and they're not pushing.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, I'm surprised Kronos, so they haven't pushed in. They pushed in fairly aggressively last time. They had Uber advantage, but it'll be interesting to see what they want to do. Salk's going to get caught out here pretty easily, as everybody was on spy watch right there, waiting for something to happen. But Pomsky, a little bit of a misplay here out of the Bureau, as they're not pushing in. They let Mr. Pomsky get caught up there, and he's about 50% down, so not sure exactly why they're playing it so safe, because I think they easily could have pushed in, just as they did in the first round.
Yeah, if they have 50% Uber advantage, that's probably the time to go in. I don't think they had a level 3 up either. I think it was only a level 2. So it's kind of the ideal time to push, especially with 50% advantage. If you can get it fast enough, you won't even have Uber in time by the time that you're kind of faded and just exchanging brag. But you're going to watch Slick now actually sneaking up Uncloak King. Bez and Joe both get picked. Selec can come and find. He does immediately get spotted by Yahoo though. There'll be no drop for Selec. Nice try though.
Well, it looks like those few picks are going to prompt the push into this final point. They're starting to walk in through the lobby area. It looks like they're going to go into this right-hand side. Deadman wanted to jump over the top, but decides to opt to just put some stickies down underneath of the gun. Trying to take it down. Eventually, though, Uber does get popped off. Your sentry gun finally does go down. Pyro doing a good job air blasting people on the point. Yahoo goes down. Cronus is out of position here. He goes down as well. Maddox is actually gonna get up to this upper area as Simba is doing a good job, but finally goes down as well. And we have 3 people up in the panic room, but are they gonna get cleaned up? 1 goes down. Zaphis is gonna get cleaned up as well. No, he's gonna stay alive here still with Cooley. Somehow they're dancing for their life. The point is so incredibly close to being captured. Zaphis is gonna try to jump on it. He goes down. Cooley's gonna try to get in here as well, but he gets taken out as well, taking down 1 with him at least. 3 players alive. Best is gonna be the first one forward. He's gonna go for the miracle shot, not able to click in time. Palmsky stays alive with this Uber advantage as they're gonna hold on to this point. And what went wrong there, Maddox, in that with that push? Maxi. I said Maddox. I don't know why I did. Maxi. What went wrong there?
I'm not an engineer, mate. I saw a few players got up into panic room, which isn't a bad thing. But when you send both your soldier and your scout are sitting in panic rooms, they're the 2 players that, if anyone, normally focus the point. And if you don't have that, you can't simply expect your combo to walk onto point. I mean, Zappa's tried it just at the end before he got picked by that sentry, but I don't know, I'd always like to see my flank go straight onto the point where your combo getting bragged, not your flank sitting up in panic room. Because you end up just losing all your combo players who are just big targets, and then flank are just weak in panic room, and I think that maybe for that 1 push is what went wrong for them there.
We do have 100% out of TC Ambition, who's going to start pushing for it. They do lose Cooley by the spy. Nice shot by Selec there. And this great bullying out here is it's going to be Wonder leading the charge. He does get the Uber popped off onto Simba, but that's okay because they can just retreat. They got the second point. That's what they needed. They got to make sure they don't get back cap here, but nobody's really close to that. Simba, though, getting very aggressive. Zappas is actually going to come in with Chronos, try to take a 2v1, or take Wonder on. As a really, wow, what an aggressive play. Yahoo taken from behind, takes down both combo classes as well as the medic. Only 2 alive here on the defensive side, and TC Ambition are going to probably lose this next point. Only a level 3 here, setting up a couple respawns. They're going to come in here. Black Box Soldier's going to try to do this best. Selec does get caught out there. Spy coming in here. He's going to get taken out. Actually, no, just a dead ring. Delman standing on the point ×2. Can they do anything to defend this? No, they cannot. As the Bureau come in, and great job in that post-Uber fight to take over that second point. It just absolutely collapsed onto them.
Yeah, Yahoo with a big number of very important picks actually, especially that whole combo. I don't know where he came from. Did he come from lower lobby or?
Yeah, I think he came from like IT or PC, and he just came up behind them when they weren't paying attention.
Well, whatever happened there, it was actually a really good play. And the only person I noticed on that last is I saw Cecil start walking towards lobby, and I thought, you've got like 8, 9 players all pushing your far side. Why are you taking on a mini sentry and walking towards lobby? Get back on the point. But when you got 2 rockets deflected and you couldn't really do much. But that's just 1 player.
So we come into this mid-fight. We'll see which team is going to be taking the advantage here. Currently, the Guerrero looking to clean it up again. It just looks like with TC Ambition, they're all backed up in that corner again. The same thing that happened on the first mid-fight, and it's happening again here. One is going to try to make a play, but he's not going to find anything. And you just got to imagine the spirit of TC Ambition just is absolutely devastated right now. I can't see them even taking a round. They looked okay for the first 2 rounds, but I think it's going to be a roll the rest of the way, as both mechs do hold on to the 100% Uber, but the heart of the game is definitely in the favor of the Bureau, as they currently sit up 2-0 in this game.
Yeah, the Bureau seemed to be pushing that right side, but then kind of, in a sense, like climbing over the point as well, and just pushing across it. Whereas Ambition seems to be pushing into this right side, and then almost like waiting for something to happen. Whereas they lose some of their flank players quite early on, and then no one seems to walk over the point or even contest top. I mean, sure, Zappas and Justice are hard people to contest, but even then you need someone to go in. I mean, Ubers right now have been exchanged, and a lot of people use actually on Zappas over these few rounds, which actually has worked out quite well. I mean, McNabb actually gets to pick off the flow, so they've got no sniper for last. Actually, BMS, if they push the same way they've been pushing these kind of post-Uber fights, they could pick another round.
So we'll see if they can do just that as they're going to work into this final area. Heavy's going to be Morty's going to be sitting onto the point. Maddox, the engineer, actually alone for his team up in the panic room, gets easily cleaned up there. As Cooley trying to push off in this lobby area, doing a decent amount of damage. Justice gets taken out there by Flo. Nice headshot, trying to come out of that rollout area. Now Flo's going to go for the miracle shot. Not going to be able to find as Cooley's going to bounce him out. But Wonder now onto Cooley, takes him down incredibly low, able to finish him off. Nice job there and we'll see if that prompts any aggression here out of TC Ambition. I think they just need to go for broke, and they might be doing just that as they're already going out onto the second point with Cooley down, but Zappa's still up. He's holding the team's line, as Sinrise actually might go down himself, but he is just barely able to get out, as Uber's going to get popped off here from Mr. Pumpkin onto Sibhawk. It does get traded off here, so we'll see which one will get the advantage in the post fight, as no real frags are coming out right now, though Justice does go down. Cooley with a nice pipes takes down Morty. Pomsky goes down as well, and just TC Ambition cannot seem to find anything in these post-Uber fights.
No, they seem to be very cluttered, and well, it's either cluttered or it's all over the place. There's no seem to be sense of direction or even any focus calls maybe on who to attack. I mean, Pomsky keeps getting... I'd like to see who goes down quite a lot. Selleck actually is a huge pick on the Kronos as I'm shit-talking someone. So hopefully that should be Ambition to push out. And actually,
So,
Joe,
yeah,
what happened there? I think Joe got
What?
2 or 3 picks with a wrangled sentry.
well, you know, worst case, you know, who remembers that a sentry exists? So see if TC Ambition, they currently hold on to 50% advantage here if they're going to be able to do anything with it.
And doesn't look like anything too much. I mean, Pomsky was sat in kind of 1 or bottom right, and he's lightly peeking 2, but like he's not healing, so he's just losing his advantage. He's healing the engineer who's walking backwards. This isn't... I mean, you've lost all these players, and it's now what? It's Pomsky at 90% with Joe, and only some corners coming up now. But all of the Bureau in, they've got all this cap time on the point, and they're just going to brute force way onto the point.
The Bureau take it 3-0 right now. Only 2 more rounds to end this off, for 10 minutes left in the clock. But, I mean, the rounds are going faster and faster, as is typical in Highlander 5 CPs. The first couple of rounds tend to be a big fight, and then one team kind of assesses their dominance, and they kind of go from there. So coming to this 4th mid-fight, seeing if TC Ambition can win their first mid-fight of the game. But I don't think it's going to be coming here today, as Cooley is the first one out very early on here. He's actually going to try to get some damage on his Sibhawk. He's doing a good job of dodging it. But currently, we've got Justice taking over the top, but we'll see if he can get contested by Setsul. But Andrade comes down, taking on to Wonder, Setsul, and Mr. Pomsky. So they have to be a little bit careful here. Best doing a good job with that, though he does get taken out due to not having to raise it back from Selleck.
And look, once again, the Bureau, I mean, someone like Simba, has literally walked over the top, and he's just getting all this damage. The Bureau did the same thing again. He had some players sitting up top, and they just held W, and they walked over, and they won the mid. I mean, I saw Morty, he went up on that kind of half level 1 crate in a sense, like the first crate, he stood on top of that, and was watching that PT area, but Simba just walked across the point. And I mean, Pomsky finally gets... Oh, it actually dropped. Ah, +2.
Yeah, I think he got an Uber Son just before he died, being alone on the point. Yeah, so it was a drop, but it was kind of like a half drop, but still 100% in the favor of the Bureau right now, as they're going to be able to push straight away onto this next point, and I don't think anything is going to stop that freight train.
No, it seems to be all one-sided towards the Bureau. It seems to be this momentum from mids. All Ambition needs to do is put some players up top, contest it. And then we saw Sinrise and Setsul jump up, and then they just walk straight off. And then the Bureau obviously capture mid, they take second for free, as this happens quite a lot. And there's this kind of scrambled offense and defense from both teams. I see Zappos gets a lot of the Uber, which actually works, I've said before, it's working really well. And here's this post-Uber fight that we've seen Ambition not really take that well. But Kronos actually does get backstabbed by Selleck, so they've got that in their favour. But other than that, actually Setsul gets another pick onto Bears, and actually it was Selleck that got the pick, my mistake. But other than that, a kind of minor exchange, and finally Ambition seems to be walking out onto point. That's what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I think that's with a little bit of the help from Setsul, who's so far forward. He's actually in the enemy, or inside of the sewer area, so completely behind the enemy team. But I think this might be the first or second time we've seen Ambition actually be able to push out onto the next point and control it. And now they do have 100% Uber advantage. Looks like they want to go through this choke area, as Justice does eat a pipe, but Best taking down Morty, taking down the Heavy. And again, like, as soon as they kind of lose a pick, they seem to just get kind of flustered, and they don't know what they want to do. You have 100% Uber advantage. I know you have a couple players down. I guess you can kind of wait off because they are at like such an advantage. Selk does get taken out way behind enemy lines there. So they're going to try to get work flowing here as they wait for their classes to get back up here, but you don't want to take too long. Already 50% Kronos is back up here, and if they wait any longer, it's going to be an even Uber fight, which is exactly what you don't want in this situation.
It's not like a heavy's even that big of a class. I mean, sure, you use him as a kind of a battering ram, a bit of like a bullet shield, but I don't think it's the end of the world to lose your heavy before you push. It's not like a heavy's going to jump forward and put up loads of damage. Just jump Sivok and maybe even Setzel in and they get flashed. But they lost a heavy and now the Uber advantage has disappeared. They've rotated from choke round into PC and I think kind of a little too late. Like, if you're pushing now, Kronos is at 100% Uber. Are they not counting Ubers? Is something wrong? They've lost all these players. They haven't even pushed yet. It's gonna be an awful Uber. I mean,
and they dropped the demo. They dropped the medic goes down. How is this even possible? How is this? They just had 100% Uber and they just dropped their medic. The point is going to be back capped here by the spy, and only 3 alive right now. We're going to have quick respawns to be able to defend this point. Kronos should be taking out Setzel, at least finding some redemption inside of this game. But I mean, I think that exact moment is a clinical, like an example of like exactly what is going wrong with TC Ambition. As Cooley does go down, Suck with a nice pistol shot here. The point's so incredibly close to be captured. Someone needs to just walk onto it, but I mean, I can't believe that happened. I mean, did you see exactly what happened? Because I'm still baffled that you could even drop your entire combo class trying to push through that area when you have 100% Uber.
Well, it was only a crit. It wasn't actually
a
full
crit?
Uber.
Okay, that's what it happened. Okay, that's why.
It was a
but
crit,
still.
so it wasn't the end of the world, but then again, I go back to, well, what's the big deal with a crit heavy? He can't do damage. He's got his laser gun, but you want a crit sticky. Just fire that crit off and try and pop into their combo. That doesn't work, then oh well, just try it again.
Yeah, so they just, I mean, so they crits, but it's just nothing they could do off of that. That was my mistake for not seeing that. But still, even at the fact, that actually makes it more embarrassing. The fact that they didn't push, they had Kritzkrieg, 100% Kritzkrieg advantage, and they didn't do anything off of it once they lost their heavy. I don't know, it's just like, if you have Kritzkrieg, you can't, like, hold on to that for the opportune time. Like, the whole point of it is you have to use it aggressively, because that's how you continually get that critical advantage. Because if you, like, hold on to it and the other team has Uber, like, you're never going to get anything unless you pick the medic with it. At least here, they're doing a nice push out here onto the second point. Mr. Pomsky, seeing it 100% best, though, incredibly close to the angle. Does get a headshot onto Morty, but not going to be enough to take him down. As they're going to start to push through IT here, and finally some aggression, though. Cooley does take down Setsul as they're holding in Sword. They're actually going to back them right here.
Pomsky went into PC, and Justice was just sat there. He just completely ignored Morty and Sivok and just hits like 2 fat rockets onto Pomsky, who finally drops, and it was actually an Uber this time. So Kronos can happily use his Uber, which he's done. A lot of picks coming out. Zafa's getting some big picks as well. And even though there are a lot of players down, it should be that the Viewers should quite happily take the second and just wait for spawners with their Uber advantage.
Yeah, they're looking very good to push on this final point. I mean, the biggest thing is I think they've been getting a little bit sloppy when it comes into their final pushes. It seems like they, obviously they're kind of riding high right now in this game. They're playing incredibly well, but I think when it comes to their final pushes, the last couple times they've tried to do it's just been like solo people and not really pushing together. If they just have like one decent push, I think they'll do well, but we'll see if they can find anything here as McNando's going to try to make a play, but easily gets found out there by the Pyro. Setsu's going to jump in here, tries to get some rockets down, but gets taken out as Kronos is still at 100%, as well as a Spy going down, so Selig not going to find anything, and both of them sitting at 17-second respawns. Sinrux goes down as well, and this is looking like a good time to push here for the Bureau.
Yeah, they've got just under 3.5 minutes left, and you've got this Uber advantage and this 3-player advantage as well. And only Justice go down, which, he's the flank class, not the biggest thing in the world. Baze gets the pick on close, there's no sniper. That might be the pick they were waiting for. That's normally the pick some players wait for. I mean, I think the Bureau are probably going to push far right. I think Cooley's already been using the Uber. So that, he get picked, so Kronos actually ends up dropping his demo, having to use his Uber in lobby. Uber's going to come out also from Pomsky. And I think they'll be able to hold on to this last. Unless this Uber repush that we see quite a lot. Anything, perhaps, maybe?
No, it doesn't look to be that way. I know I've been talking bad about TC Ambition, but Wonder, they're really great job. Actually, currently on a 6K right now, as he's continuing to go forward. He actually took down 2 players there just before the Uber comes off. He wants blood right there. He's going for Zafa's, down incredibly low. Both of them, he gets reconnected with this medic. Zafa's, how is he still alive? He stood there for so long, incredibly low, but able to keep his life. But TC Ambition able to re-push out here, able to hold on once again, and whatever they were doing wrong, at least for their final holds, they're able to kind of figure out here, and just kind of stepping up their game. I'm not quite, can't put my finger on what they're doing better right now, but it's at least looking a little bit better as Setsu's going behind. Maybe just this all-out aggression they're doing right now, as they're just trying to get forward. Wonder, a little bit overextending here on the point, is actually going to take down the Heavy with the help of Flow there. And not looking too bad, though. They did lose a couple players, and the Spy is trying to make a play, but we'll see what they're going to do with this Uber charge, as Zibhawk is actually going to jump in here and force him out. Pops Maddox up, and great job taking this middle fight.
Yeah, what you don't recognize about Xaphos' config, or at least realize, is every button he presses also makes him jump. That's why he's actually very good at dodging things. But actually, looking at the Bureau re-pushing this, another thing, it's another mid fight, and what are Ambition not doing on mids? They're not getting players up top. They Ubered in and Sybil jumped in, but you need either support or put people up top to stop Bureau pushing back over. And what did Bureau do? They put people back up top, they re-pushed it, and they're winning again. I'm not sure if Ambition maybe don't know that there's a top of the point. Actually, the back cap, I was hoping actually this back cap must happen. I think it was actually Wonder that was trying to back cap, but that hasn't seemed to have gone that well.
Yeah, and I just want to toss out that McNando had a Batman stab off the top of the point, taking down Mr. Polomsky there in that mid-fight. As Kronos currently sitting at 100%, looks like they want to get ready to push here into the next point. Only 50 seconds left on the clock, so this is the Bureau's game. It's just a question of do they want 4 rounds or 3, and how ultimately they want to do this. 40 seconds left in the clock now, sitting at 100%. They're still not pushing. Looks like they're going to go into the shutter side right now. They're going to come in here. They're going to meet the Devilman on the other side. Sibhawk's actually a little bit disconnected here. Easily going to go down. Morty's actually hiding in rollout. Finally does get spotted by the Prow as the Devilman gets disconnected from his mech. Easily gets taken out. Nice cleanup here by TC Ambition. Just forcing him out here as they're trying to push through the shutter area. Sunrise barely able to keep alive with a sliver of health and decides to push forward. Actually gets the Heavy for his trouble. Great job there with the help of the Soldier, as they're going to hold on to this. 15 seconds left on the clock, but it's still going to be the Bureau's game to win, and great on them as they just played a wonderful game.
Yeah, they've definitely played very well this game. If I look at, I mean, at least some of the logs they played, and some of the previous matches, I mean, they played, I think, High Panda, Nunya, and Strong Opinions all this week. There's some personal issues within their team that I'm not going to go into, but I mean, neither team played that well in their midweek scrims, so it definitely gives Bureau a confidence boost going into next week's game.
Definitely does, and we'll see if we can pull up some log here for some quick post-game analysis. Let me see if we can grab them myself. But yeah, definitely a fantastic game, and the Bureau looked incredibly strong there, so it'll be interesting to see how they end up finishing out this season.
Yeah, pulling up the logs, I mean, I'm going to first look at the losers, unfortunately, TC Ambition. I think Setzel, despite his kind of KD, I think he did quite well. He put out just over 7,500 damage, which is actually quite a lot. But he was making a lot of jumps and a lot of plays. Selleck actually got quite a few stabs. I don't know how many stabs Selleck got on. He got 3 picks onto Kronos, which is quite good. But I mean, you look at are we sorted by kills? Actually, Yahoo. How did Yahoo top frag? How does a Pyro ever top frag?
I have no idea. I saw that and I was just bemused because I did not see him getting that many frags, but apparently he did. As a Pyro top fragging on a 5 CP map. That's not something you see every day.
Most of his frags though actually came from a shotgun. So if you look at it, most of his frags actually were on spies. He got 13 spy picks. So
Oh my
very
god!
aware of spies. I mean, the
Holy
next most
crap.
spy picks is 7 from Simba. So Bureau's combo actually being very spy aware. And Yahoo also he got 5 soldier picks.
Yeah,
5
Flo
soldier
was
picks,
on
lots of
39.
denies, and Flo actually, despite obviously being on the loose team, he got second most frags, and actually, I think he ended up top damaging for TC Ambition as well. So Flo actually got a very good game. Actually, I don't think he'll be too upset by that whatsoever. 39 headshots, Bear's only on 29, and I mean Nick Nando, I mean he got 4, so a few ambi plays, but I think he was mainly using the the Transer for a bit of it, but I think McNanna's mainly a spy, knife spy, compared to this new kind of gun spy. I mean, actually, a big difference, a huge difference is if you look at assists, and you see Kronos hitting 26 assists and Xaphos on 22, You jump to Palmsky, he's only got 5 assists. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, that's really bad assist rate. I mean, only have 5 assists the entire game. I mean, it's a real question of like, and sometimes, assists from medics come from healing the furthest person forward usually. So, is it a question of like, was his team not aggressive enough? Was he not aggressive enough with his team? Or was he just like, and sometimes though, then again, like you're just not healing at the right time, right? Like sometimes you just have those weird games where just nothing kind of connects. But definitely something to be a little bit stark when you get out assisted 5-1 compared to the other medic.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for any other differences. I mean, Pomsky ended up dropping twice. Kronos only dropped once. Heals, both medics got over 1,000 heals per minute, which I'm told is normally quite good. So neither. I mean, even looking at heavies, they got equal Uber heals percentages, and generally frags are quite distributed between the two teams. So there's not. I think it was only the mids that let ambition kind of let them down.
Yeah. So, ultimately, it's going to be the Bureau taking it 6-0, 3-0 on the first map on Koth Lakeside, and then 3-0 when it came to CP Process. Congratulations to them taking it. Maxi, any shoutouts you want to give before we wrap this up?
I'll give a quick shout-out to... I want to say for Infomax, the team I played the game assembly, but it's a bit past that now. I'll give a shout-out quick to Essentials.tf, who obviously are sponsoring this, Whitelist.tf, big WeToothed as well. And no, that's what I go for. Shout out to Zaphos because he was the person I was rooting for, and I think he played very well.
All right, well, shout out to Maxi's airplane noises. Always do appreciate that. Guys, don't forget, I believe the other game for BlackOut Gaming TV is still on its main channel, so definitely check that out. I'll also be streaming if you want to check me out, because I'm so pretty. No, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me out here. Arjax on camera, guys. Make sure you give him some love in chat. He does always a wonderful job, and we really do appreciate him. I am Sigafoo with Maxi and Arjax to my side. Thank you so much, and have a great night.